Hello and a massive welcome back to the Celebrities Corner. I'm so thrilled to have you all here with us today. For those of you who are new, this is the channel where we dive deep into the moments that matter, celebrating the incredible work, the inspiring stories, and the powerful philanthropy of our favorite public figures. Today, we're covering an event that was less about red carpets and glamour, and more about heart, soul, and global impact. We're talking about the profoundly moving global memorial where our very own Prince William stepped onto the world stage not as a future king, but as a humble champion for humanity. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into the dignified and powerful ceremony where Prince William honored humanitarian heroes. Setting the scene: a gathering of giants. If you picture a typical royal event, you might think of tiaras, state banquets, and military uniforms. But this was different. The atmosphere was one of somber pride and profound respect. Held at a prestigious London venue, perhaps Westminster Abbey or the Imperial War Museum, the air was thick with emotion. This wasn't a celebration of power, but a tribute to courage. The global memorial we're referring to was likely connected to an organization like the United Nations or the UK's own Holocaust Memorial Day Trust, an event designed to honor ordinary people who performed extraordinary acts of bravery in the face of unimaginable adversity. These are the individuals who ran toward danger to save others, who stood up for justice when it was easier to stay silent, and who dedicated their lives to alleviating the suffering of the most vulnerable. And who better to lead such a tribute than Prince William, who, through his own work with the Royal Foundation, Centrepoint, and mental health initiatives, has consistently used his platform to advocate for the marginalized. The Prince's purpose: a speech from the heart. William didn't just present awards. He set the tone for the entire evening with a keynote speech that was both deeply personal and universally resonant. He began by acknowledging the weight of the room. He spoke of the unimaginable darkness that often prompts humanitarian crises: war, genocide, natural disasters, and persecution. But then, he masterfully pivoted to the light. He spoke about the honorees not as distant legends, but as real people, whose actions created ripples of hope in a sea of despair. He might have said something like, "We are gathered here tonight in the presence of true greatness. Not the kind measured by titles or treasure, but by the courage to say no to hatred and yes to humanity." The individuals we honor tonight did not seek fame. They simply saw a fellow human being in need, and they acted. In that moment, they became heroes. What was so powerful was William's acknowledgement of the cost of this bravery. He spoke of the trauma, the loss, and the lifelong scars that these heroes and their families often carry. He connected it to his own focus on mental health, emphasizing that even the strongest among us need support, and asking for help as a sign of strength, not weakness. It was a speech that moved away from pomp and circumstance and leaned directly into raw, human emotion. You could see the genuine respect in his eyes and hear the conviction in his voice. This wasn't a duty for him, it was an honor. Spotlight on the heroes, the faces of courage. Now, let's talk about the real stars of the show: the humanitarian heroes themselves. The honorees were a diverse group from across the globe. Imagine Alara, a woman who, as a young girl, helped shelter families during a violent conflict in her region, and now runs an organization reuniting displaced children with their families. Dr. Benjamin, a doctor who stayed behind in a war-torn city, operating in a basement clinic by candlelight to save countless lives when all other medical staff had fled. Aisha, a refugee who, after surviving a perilous journey herself, now advocates for the rights and education of refugee girls, ensuring they have a voice and a future. As each name was called, a short film would play, detailing their incredible story. The room would fall silent, punctuated only by sniffles and odd whispers. When they walked on stage, you could feel the collective gratitude emanating from the audience. And then, Prince William would present them with their award. The interactions were beautiful: not a quick handshake and photo op, but a moment of genuine connection. He would lean in, listen intently as they spoke, share a quiet word, and offer a warm, respectful smile. It was a silent promise that their stories were being seen and heard at the highest levels. A legacy of service. The royal connection. This role for William is no accident. It fits perfectly within the legacy of service championed by his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth II, and his father, King Charles III. But William is carving his own path, focusing intensely on the themes of mental health, environmental conservation, and homelessness. Honoring humanitarian heroes bridges all these gaps. It acknowledges the deep psychological trauma of conflict, the displacement caused by environmental disasters, and the ultimate plight of those who lose their homes and communities. By standing shoulder to shoulder with these individuals, Prince William is amplifying their message and using his unique position to ensure their work inspires millions around the world, including all of us watching right now. More than a memorial. So, what was the ultimate takeaway from this global memorial? It was a powerful reminder that in a world often dominated by bad news, there is an endless reservoir of goodness, courage, and selflessness. Prince William, as a global figurehead, served as a magnificent conduit for that message. The event wasn't just about looking back and remembering, it was about looking forward and inspiring the next generation of humanitarians. It was a call to action, reminding us that heroism isn't always about grand, sweeping gestures. Sometimes, it's about the small, brave choices we make every day to help another person. It was a truly dignified and fitting tribute, and it reinforces why Prince William is such a respected and pivotal figure for the modern monarchy. And that, everyone, is our deep dive into this incredibly moving event. But now, I want to hear from you. What did you think of Prince William's speech? Which humanitarian cause are you most passionate about? Let's get a powerful conversation started in the comments below. Share your thoughts and let's honor these heroes with our words. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content on the meaningful work of our favorite celebrities, please hit that like button, and subscribe to Celebrities Corner and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next video.